Because he wanted to let the girl see his giant treasure, he immediately pulled the robot's plug, then pressed the start button. This startled her. Then he drove the robot slowly out. The girl was very admired and was about to take out the phone to take pictures, but Charlie hurriedly waved his hand. Because taking photos cost $5. $5 to take pictures? Are you joking? No joke. Pay now. It sounds unreasonable. She immediately left with a disdainful face. So what about 2.5? Are you so poor? Why did Charlie become so poor? This must be since boxing was replaced by robots. Charlie was originally an excellent boxer. He won each boxing match in the year 2007 and defeated the second-ranked person in the world. But that glory is in the past and can only be seen in the old newspapers. Because with the development of technology, human battle matches have gradually declined and been replaced by robot boxing. Because of his livelihood, Charlie had to run around, still in debt. Since then, Charlie became more and more tired and began to give up. Until this day, he received a booking for a show. The boss asked his robot to fight Black Thunder. To earn a large amount of money from the boss, Charlie agreed temporarily for his robot to fight with Black Thunder. The bet was up to $20,000. Charlie thought that he could get away with it. If he won, a lot of money. If he lost, he would run away. Unexpectedly, the opponent issued a threat. If he lost and fled, I will definitely chase him to the end of the earth and beat him up. You know I used to do this. Be careful. Very quickly, Charlie controlled the robot step by step into the ring. Before the match began, he did not forget to perform in front of the audience, firing up the crowd for a moment. The match began. Black Thunder had not struck, but the robot taunted in front of him. Black Thunder was angry and rushed forward. The robot chose to face it directly. A strong collision easily hurt Black Thunder and threw it to the side. Black Thunder stood up and rushed again. Charlie controlled the robot to jump, like a dragonfly touching the water. After landing, he turned to launch a punch that made Black Thunder collapse. Charlie looked at a woman in the stands. But unexpectedly, Black Thunder stood up too late. Black Thunder struck the robot. Charlie panicked and called the boss to stop the match, but the boss did not pay attention. Black Thunder walked around dragging the robot's leg, mocking everywhere. Reluctantly, Charlie had to control the robot back to the match. But the robot had broken his leg. It could not be a match for Black Thunder and was immediately knocked tens of meters away. The cheers from the crowd became more and more intense. Charlie urged the robot to stand up, but Black Thunder did not give it any chance. A kick shattered the robot. Charlie stood beside it helpless, could only watch in worry. After the match ended, Charlie prepared to flee immediately. But when he was about to close the door, he suddenly saw two men wearing vests walking toward him. Charlie quickly grabbed the key, saw the opponent approaching. Charlie swung his hand to block, planning to use force. Unexpectedly, the opponent said that they did not come to cause trouble. It turned out they were lawyers. Because Charlie's ex-girlfriend suddenly died, leaving behind his 11-year-old son. And Charlie, as the closest relative, had to adopt his son. At this time, the boy's aunt and the judge were discussing adopting Mark. But according to Texas law, if there is nothing in writing, only close relatives have the right to guardianship. Mark's father, Charlie, was also there and announced he voluntarily relinquished his son's guardianship. But when his aunt stood up and left, Charlie noticed she was wearing a gold watch. An idea of money came to his mind. He is an irresponsible father. Just because he saw the golden watch on the wealthy woman's wrist, he did not hesitate to sell his son, whom he had never met. To earn more, he ignored the judge and approached the wealthy woman to talk privately. Before he could let the woman understand the situation, he immediately asked for 75,000 USD. Are you serious? The woman was surprised, but this price was still acceptable. The problem was that in a few days, she and her husband will go abroad, no time to take care of the children. So in these 2 months, Charlie needs to take care of the child. Hearing that, Charlie immediately took the opportunity and pushed the price. So make it 100,000. 100,000, yes. The woman thought that Charlie was crazy about the money, with absolutely no limit. Unexpectedly, Charlie threatened her. If I take my son to jail, then your wife will really go crazy. Thinking of his wife loving this child, the woman finally gave in, agreeing to Charlie's request. But on this condition, she must not let his wife know. So Charlie signed a guardian agreement, selling the boy to the woman. As a father, he is really a failure. Just out of the court door, he used the money to buy a new robot. Returning to the warehouse, Charlie informed Bailey, his best friend. Bailey was very surprised. Charlie's old robot was broken, and he owed Bailey $6,000 in rent. Therefore, Bailey had helped Charlie with rent. If not, someone else would have rented out the gym. Bailey, don't do that. Do you like me? Don't like? No, I don't like you doing that. I used to like you, but now I don't. Frankly, now I prefer money. At this time, the woman's driver came to the two of them. They went out. The driver quietly gave Charlie $50,000 as agreed. According to the previous agreement, while the couple were abroad, Mark would be taken care of by Charlie. The father and son met for the first time. I'm Charlie. Mark Kenton. Did you sell me? Why does it sound hard? He sold me for $50,000? He owes me half. After all, I bought a robot. Keep it clean, all clean, no more. Charlie left Mark and went straight to the boxing gym. The latest robot was in this large box. As soon as Charlie opened it, Mark shouted, "Oh my God, so great, Adam!" Immediately, Mark gasped in surprise. Mark curiously approached it. Unexpectedly, Charlie started Noisy Boy. It is said that Noisy Boy can be voice controlled, so Charlie tested it curiously. But no matter what he ordered, Noisy Boy didn't move. Charlie suspected he had been tricked and began to rant. At this point, Mark sneaked in. It turned out that Noisy Boy was set in Japanese control mode. Bailey came and switched to voice control. Charlie tried again and ordered the robot to throw a punch. 3-in-1 punch. Seeing that Noisy Boy was so strong, Charlie became arrogant again. Before he could get familiar with the robot's skills, he brought Noisy Boy to the underground fight club. Here, having no rules is the rule. Seeing Charlie coming, the host hurriedly told everyone to be silent. Is that Noisy Boy? The only robot like it in the world? That is Noisy Boy. In the cheers, Charlie gradually lost his head. The host offered Charlie a $5,000 fight to heat up the crowd. But Charlie couldn't be bothered with this $5,000 because he wanted a bigger fight. He resolutely demanded a $50,000 fight and to fight the strongest opponent, Midas. Bailey hurriedly advised Charlie to fight for a little money first and then leave. At this point, Charlie was blinded by money and did not listen to the boy. He resolutely chose to fight Midas. Midas is a gold whole-body robot. The head is chicken-shaped, called ChickenBot. Very quickly, the match between the two robots started. Because of money, he led his son to the underground arena to fight an unsanctioned match. He also announced he would challenge the strongest robot and win the highest prize. The match involves controlling the robot to fight each other. The match started. Charlie's Noisy Boy punched, knocking Midas down. Before Midas could stand up, Charlie ordered another punch, leaving the opponent unable to react. Consecutive punches left Midas unable to resist. When he prepared the finishing punch, Noisy Boy was knocked dozens of meters away by the opponent. The one-sided match suddenly became difficult. Noisy Boy was cornered, mercilessly attacked by Midas. Seeing Noisy Boy could not counterattack, Charlie started to panic. If this continued, it would be beaten into scrap. Because he was not familiar with Noisy Boy's skills, Charlie had to try commands one by one. 5 jabs, eat my uppercut. The opponent's attacks grew more intense. A karate chop broke Noisy Boy's arm. Noisy Boy was about to attack, but only sprayed oil on the opponent. Noisy Boy's attack was easily dodged by Midas. Midas grabbed its arm and hit it hard. In the roar of the audience, Midas put all its force into a punch to finish Noisy Boy. Looking at the hydraulic fluid scattered everywhere, Charlie lost the fight and became empty-handed. Noisy Boy also became scrap metal. But Charlie kept Noisy Boy's voice identification system. Charlie shouldn't have entered that match because he did not know how to use all the skills of Noisy Boy, having not even used 1/10 of his ability. Charlie immediately protested. The robots used to be very strong in the tournament. Over time, I look around, this is a place where top-tier robots are the standard. So he left it. Don't look at me like that. Get in the car quickly. To rebuild a robot, Charlie went to the robot graveyard. He saw a large gate was locked. Sneaking the car inside, he had to watch the time to avoid being seen. Very quickly, it started to rain heavily. Mark discovered a robot head and asked Charlie why robots must be human-shaped. Charlie seriously explained, because of money, people prefer violent matches with killing, and robots can do that. Over time, human boxing was gradually replaced by robots. Not realizing it, Mark got stuck in the mud. Charlie hurriedly warned him to be careful, but immediately the ground collapsed. Mark fell down. He slid down the cliff. There was only a little distance before falling into the abyss. He woke up. Turning his head to look back, seeing a robot arm had saved him. But the danger was not over. He was still suspended a meter above the void. He had to call for Charlie loudly. Hearing the call, Charlie finally found him, carefully reaching out to grab him. The father and son worked together and escaped danger. The two hugged each other tightly to reassure each other. Charlie kept asking, "Are you okay?" Having confirmed that everything was fine, Charlie's panic subsided. Mark dug in the ground and discovered that a robot had saved him. He told Charlie to dig it up, but Charlie said he had too many things to do, then turned away. Unwilling to leave the robot, Mark insisted on staying and determined to dig up the robot. The boy dug and discovered a robot buried in the ground. After a moment's hesitation, the boy decided to dig it up. He used his hands to dig little by little in the rain. After one night's effort, he finally brought the robot home. After that, the boy charged the robot. It suddenly came back to life. Unexpectedly, the robot had been lying buried for many years, but could still work normally. More surprisingly, the robot also has a shadow function, mirroring movements. Feeling that he had found a treasure,
Mark immediately started cleaning the dirt and mud off the robot. During washing, he saw letters printed on the robot's chest, Adam. Later, he took Adam to find Charlie, asking him to register so Adam could join a match. But Charlie didn't care about Adam, calling him a training robot, saying that if he went to a competition, he would only be beaten. Can't you let him fight a match? You want me to take it to the professional stage to compete? The place for this robot to play will scare it. Okay, take it to a small competition. Midnight, sneaking in and plugging Adam in, Mark started Adam, leading Adam to practice. Adam only mimicked the movement, but did not turn. Where Mark passed, the trash was all kicked up, loud and funny. In the corner, Adam mirrors Mark's movements and hugs him. At that moment, Mark felt a father's love that he had never experienced. Although Adam has no consciousness, he is now the best friend Mark has ever had. Do you understand what I say? Don't worry, I will keep it a secret. The next day, Mark went looking for Bailey to ask about Jack's past. After researching, Mark knew it turned out that Jack had beaten the world's second-ranked boxer in a bootleg match. In the boxing world, Jack was also a big name. But times changed. His previous glory exists only in old newspapers. At this point, Jack interrupted the conversation of the two. Take your belongings and clean up. No need. Have you ever fought in a final? You will go. We depart in another hour. Start cleaning up. Jack took Mark to find an old friend, but an image on the big screen attracted their attention. Zeus, grand champion, slaughters opponents every year. No robot has lasted 2 rounds against him. With just 1 punch, he easily defeated the opponent and won the title. He is considered the greatest robotic boxer in history. As soon as Zeus's team walked out, they were swarmed by reporters. It was the control team of Zeus just out of a match. They were very satisfied with Zeus's performance, and claimed that Zeus was interested in only one opponent, the legendary Black Thunder. Mark carried this thought going through his mind. Unexpectedly, one day, Adam will have a match against Zeus. Jack sought a friend to borrow money to take Mark to the competition, but the opponent knew Jack was broke and wouldn't pay, so he refused. Going out, Mark kept dancing non-stop. Jack also didn't know if this robot was reliable or not, but had to put all his hope in it. But they only had one chance to play. Early the next morning, Jack was woken by a noise. It was Mark preparing for a match. He had spent all night upgrading and entering movements into Adam's system. Although Mark tried so hard, Jack did not value Adam. They drove to a competition venue, quickly meeting the organizer, a man called Baboon. Before Jack could greet him, Baboon asked, "How much for a fight? 2 minutes per round? I pay you $100. $300. $100, kid. I will pay you $100, just let Meteor practice." Mark directly demanded $500 for 2 rounds. Baboon laughed at him. "You couldn't stand 1 round, and you want to fight 2 rounds? Where is your courage?" This sentence made Baboon angry. He declared that if Adam lasted a full round, Baboon would pay $1,000. But if Adam lost, the robot would belong to Baboon. But Mark was not worried and accepted immediately. In the venue, with few audience, the opponent was ready, while Mark was still adjusting Adam's function. In the sparse cheers, the match officially began. A pair of father and son brought a scrap robot to compete, and the one controlling the robot is a kid. Luckily, their opponent is an idiot. The audience gathered to see for fun. The match had just started. The opponent did not observe formalities, stepping on Adam's leg and hitting its head. Mark hurried to control Adam to avoid the blow, but the two fighters are not on the same level. Adam was overwhelmed by the opponent without resistance. Luckily, Adam is a training robot. The only advantage is its ability to bear blows. The opponent put Adam in a headlock and strutted everywhere. There were 30 seconds left. Suddenly, Jack remembered Baboon's offer. If Adam lasted a full round, they would win $1,000. Jack hurriedly told Mark to take control. Adam lay on the floor, beaten to the point of being no longer able to fight back. The opponent threw Adam against the fence. 20 seconds left. Adam was punched down again. Adam could no longer stand up. In the audience's countdown, Adam seemed to hear Mark's voice and miraculously stood up. At this moment, they cheered. Baboon honored his promise of $1,000 and said that if Adam lasted the next round, the reward would be doubled. Mark agreed immediately. Jack was very angry because it was only $1,000, yet they could lose Adam so easily. He really needed this money. The second round started. With more experience controlling Adam, Mark easily avoided blows. When the opponent was still confused, Adam landed a punch, hitting the opponent hard. Before everyone's surprise, the opponent's robot system collapsed. It hit its head, and not long after that, it fell. Jack immediately joined the audience in the countdown. When the countdown ended, they won this match. Baboon, though very angry, still honored the bet, offering $2,000. Jack was about to leave when a promoter gave him a business card, saying that for one match, the prize was $7,000. Jack did not refuse, agreeing immediately. That night, Mark was awake all night writing programs, upgrading Adam's system. As expected, success always comes to the prepared person. The next morning, he led Adam to practice again. After one night awake, he still had flaws, so he threw the documents aside, opened music to relax. Adam began to nod to the rhythm. Without realizing it, the two started dancing, telling Adam to do the robot dance. Their dances were perfectly mirrored. At this time, Jack came out from the house. Mark quickly told Jack the results of his night's work. He installed Noisy Boy's voice recognition system on Adam. Adam now only needs voice commands to control. Punch straight left, right hook punch. Jack was surprised. His son was a genius. But Adam's boxing skills were still lacking, so Mark needed Jack to teach him movements. But Jack said he had not practiced boxing for many years, and was now just a has-been, so he rejected Mark's request. When he left, Jack suddenly remembered Mark's stance. If used as an entrance dance for the match, it would definitely be cool. But in return, Jack had to teach Adam to practice boxing, so the two father and son agreed. Early the next morning, Jack taught Mark.
leading Adam to start getting used to its body parts. In every movement, Jack saw his own former image on Adam. Very quickly, the next fight came. Under the agreement, Mark led Adam to dance before starting. Everyone loved this entrance. Unexpectedly, Adam defeated the opponent with just a few punches. They constantly developed new moves to put into fights. Adam learned very quickly, playing like a fish in water. They also made a lot of money. Life got better and better. Father and son often joked around. With Adam's growing reputation, the managers of the World Robot Boxing Championship sought them out, inviting them to join the tournament. And this was the day they had been waiting for. On the display screen, Adam's rival robot was Twin Cities. Jack was very excited. He had fought in boxing all his life, dreaming of competing in this tournament. Unexpectedly, his dream was being fulfilled by his son. Before they could enjoy the excitement, a bald man appeared, inviting them to Zeus's room. Before they could understand anything, the wealthy woman, Farah Lemkova, suggested buying Adam for $200,000 to use as a training robot. Jack immediately perked up, but Mark rejected it because Adam was not for sale. The wealthy woman said her proposal is valid until the match begins. Okay, but hear it clearly, Adam is not for sale, now and forever. Mark walked out. Jack tried to persuade his son. This was a golden opportunity. That was $200,000. With $200,000, they could buy a larger, stronger robot. But Mark resolutely refused. Adam isn't just metal, he's family. Quickly the time for the fight arrived. Twin Cities slowly entered the ring. With 2 heads for 2 controllers. It's not cheating, but it is cheating. When the host introduced them, Adam shone. Before the match, Mark led Adam to dance. The robot mirrored the boys' dance, stirring the whole arena. When they entered the stage, seeing their opponent today, their confidence quickly faded. Their opponent was Twin Cities with 2 heads. Behind that huge body, there not only was a professional control team, but also had high technology support. Meanwhile, Jack and Mark only had a small old control box. This was a war between the common man and the elite, a match of David versus Goliath. They could only pray. The match begins. 2 robots start fighting. Adam flexibly dodged and launched attacks, but the opponent was controlled by 2 people, so it reacted quickly. Adam was continuously pushed back, soon forced into the corner. Jack tried to control Adam to escape the corner, but the opponent did not give it the opportunity, constantly attacking. In this situation, the only way was to find the opponent's weaknesses to defeat it. Suddenly, Jack noticed that the opponent's right shoulder pulled back every time it threw a punch. So they took the opportunity, avoiding the head. Jack grabbed onto the weakness, approached Twin Cities to counterattack. The underdog Adam started a melee. Ignoring the attacking opponent, Adam flexibly dodged. Back, forward, counterattack. A series of consecutive attacks. The opponent's system faltered. Twin Cities no longer posed a threat. Under Adam's continuous dodging, the 2 heads of the opponent were confused. Jack delivered the last blow. Twin Cities collapsed immediately. The reporters quickly took photos of the moment. When the referee finished the count, the father and son defeated Twin Cities, winning this match. When the host announced the results, Mark warned the wealthy woman not to dream of buying Adam. Zeus is not unbeatable. Time and location are your choice. If you dare, we are always ready. If there are no setbacks, there are no surprises. As expected, Zeus's team came after them. They surrounded the father and son, said not a word, and robbed all the money just won. Arriving home, Jack thought for a long time. He did not know if he could take good care of Mark. Mark was sleeping. Early the next morning, he took Mark to meet his aunt. His aunt wants Mark to come back before next month. Seeing he had nothing, Mark was not happy. The relationship between the 2 had clearly improved, but his father was once again sending him away. Mark begged, but his father had no other way, because legal guardianship was in her hands. Because of Mark's future, he had to let go. She offered him the remaining money, but Jack refused because Mark could no longer be measured with money. Jack chased the car. Seeing Mark was packing his luggage, his apology was very helpless. He was reluctant to sell guardianship for money. He also wanted to keep Mark, but he knew what kind of person he was. He had to say hurtful words. I forgot what kind of father I used to be. I don't deserve you. You deserve a better father than me. I hope you can remember me. I just need that.
A father. He completely failed. Looking at Mark leaving, tears filled his eyes. Jack drove a large truck back to Texas. He went to Bailey to confide. Since Mark was born, I've never fulfilled my father's responsibility. I was a failed father. Bailey immediately realized the problem. She encouraged Jack. Your heart knows the answer. Let's go, Charlie. He knocked on the door of Mark's aunt's room. Then he took a few steps back, taking a deep breath. Seeing his son came out, he had thought for a long time and apologized. Listen, I know you think I abandoned you. I did abandon you. Why would you sell a child? Charlie, his aunt warned him not to come here. Jack mustered the courage to refute. This time he just wanted to do the right thing. He talked about the memories they experienced. Their previous experiences felt just like yesterday. This time, I'm here not only to apologize, but also to make up for the past. If you are ready, we are also ready to fight Zeus. Looking at Adam standing far away, Mark understood Jack was ready. We can confront Zeus, Auntie. No, not us, but Mark can confront Zeus. She had been touched by the 2 and decided to agree. Just for one night. The father and son brought Adam to the world stage. Their opponent entered full of swagger. Even before stepping into the ring, he threw a punch at the air. Have you ever seen a grand debut? Oh my God, he is a champion who has never lost in history. Tough break for Adam. The father and son were too surprised to speak. When the host announced the beginning of the match, less than 2 seconds in, Adam was hit by a punch. His head was punched in, leaving a concave. It appeared that anyone under Zeus's punch couldn't bear 2 shots. But Adam was the exception. He endured 5 punches. He slowly stood up, but before he could stand firmly, he was knocked to the ground. The audience cheered. When the match seemed to be over, fighting for Adam, he stood up. Hearing the crowd, Adam stood up again, but Zeus failed to give any opportunity, continuing to attack Adam continuously. Under the fierce barrage of attacks, Zeus ended the first round. Adam tried to stand up, but was punched to the ground. This was the 3rd time Adam fell. The referee started to count down. Mark's eyes showed he wouldn't accept defeat tonight. Jack was also screaming instructions, but the lights dimmed on Adam. Adam could not stand up, then miraculously regained consciousness. But that didn't change the reality. The opponent was too strong. Adam wasn't at the same level. An uppercut. Everyone could not believe it. Adam took the punch and stayed standing. Zeus suddenly hesitated. Adam continued landing all his punches on Zeus, but Zeus blocked easily. The advantage turned back. Zeus used a powerful move, determined to end the match before the round ended. But don't forget, Adam is a training robot. Its only strength is to bear the blows. When Zeus launched the last blow, fortunately, the bell rang, saving Adam. The father and son hurried to the repair area. Looking at Adam smoking, they couldn't imagine why it endured so much. After a simple repair, they entered the 2nd round. Adam was no longer afraid. He started fighting face to face. 3 straight punches put Zeus in a difficult position. They quickly entered the 3rd round. Zeus is not an unbeaten champion. Adam was beaten mercilessly. The controller must change tactics to turn the situation around. 2 tigers fighting, 1 injured. Adam was knocked down again. But no matter how many times Adam fell down, he rose. This is like us. No matter how many times life knocks us down, we still stand up and smile while facing life again. The 4th round came. Zeus began to find the opportunity to make a decisive blow to defeat Adam. Adam fought back. Zeus launched an attack like a storm. It damaged Adam's voice control system. No matter how Mark called, there was no reaction. Facing Zeus's continuous attack with no solution, Adam would sooner or later be destroyed. Fortunately, the bell rang. Zeus stopped. There was no voice control system. Adam had lost its commands. Luckily, Mark quickly switched to shadow mode. But shadow mode needs Mark to move directly for Adam to copy. Only one last round left. They put all hope on the shoulders of Mark. Jack tried to refuse the risk, but he looked at Adam and saw his son's determined gaze. So he agreed. Decide to fight this battle together. I know you can't hear, but you can see me. Look closely. Look at me. He was talking to a robot. I know. Silence. Just look at me carefully. The final round began. Zeus attacked first. Mark controlled Adam to counterattack. Just like that. Zeus had a blow, Adam had a blow. Mark was instructing Adam to counterattack on the stage, but facing Zeus's superior build, they still couldn't gain points. Mark had to focus on defense. Jack urged Mark to counterattack. Mark knew it wasn't time. During Zeus's continuous attack, Zeus appeared exhausted. Mark waved his hand for Adam to be provocative. The angry controller activated all of Zeus's features. But during continuous attacks, Adam absorbed all the damage. The controller did not know he had fallen into Mark's provocative trap. Zeus launched the last blow to try to win the match. But Mark had a strategy. He wanted Adam to defend to the end. Under consecutive punches, Zeus's movement slowed gradually. Zeus's energy was exhausted. Hey kid, it's time. Mark swung his fist and Adam mirrored it, hitting Zeus. At this moment, Jack seemed to return to his boxing.
Days. He was punching the opponent on the stage through Adam. The audience cheered wildly. Seeing he was about to lose the match, Zeus's controller pulled the control to manual mode, stepping personally into the ring. Zeus gained the upper hand, continuing to attack Adam continuously. Adam dodged, jumped up, and swung a strong punch. Then pressed Zeus into the corner, continuously swinging fists. Zeus caught fire. Mark looked at his father from afar, unable to hold back tears. Adam fought on the stage. His father was fighting alongside him on the stage through the shadow function. Left and right, left and left. Adam launched a strong left hook. Zeus fell down. They successfully dropped Zeus. The referee stepped into the ring and started the countdown. In the last second, Zeus staggered to its feet. Mark quickly attacked, giving his opponent no chance to recover. Zeus's punches fell like rain, but its system had collapsed. Its strategy had failed. With Adam's last punch, the official match ended. The audience flooded the ring. A robot rescued from the landfill had defeated the champion. After the referee announced the score, 47-46, they only lost by 1 point. Ultimately, Zeus won the match. Mark was very satisfied with this result. People called Adam the People's Champion. The People's Champion. This name is good. Although they lost the match, they won the people's heart. Thank you for watching the video.